Because he said, look, presentation is not going to get you sales. So where you need to be is at the coast. So get there. But now I really know the value of a middle class upbringing and having those foundational value systems in place, right? That really helps in a lot of decisions because it gives you clarity. As an analyst, I started reading up these audit reports or annual reports, and that used to be my time pass activity. For whom Sachin Tendulkar was the big role model to really self-discover and then say push myself. Why I could do a solo journey is also because I'm married to somebody I knew from my school.
Hi Uttam, welcome to the Turning Point powered by Matrix Partners India. In this series, we want to host our founders and learn about the turning points in their life. So, I think the first question that I would want to start with is that what was that one point in your life which changed your career's trajectory?
Yeah, actually, a lot of points, but if I have to really drill down one, especially in the context of building Captain Fresh, was one where I was working with the ex-boss, which is Nekkanthi Seafoods,
Yeah.
and I was just about thinking of starting up. And when I was thinking of starting up, I was trying to figure out how to get my first customer, and first customer happened to be an enterprise customer. And I was being the investment banker I was, and the background that I came from. The first thing that I was doing was basically put together a presentation for the enterprise client, and I spent like 2 weeks on putting the slides together on why they should buy fish from us, right? And I think the first best advice, and I think that kind of changed the way even we put the whole Captain Fish team together and some of these foundational blocks. As he said, look, presentation is not going to get you sales. So where you need to be is at the coast. So get there. If you don't get there, you don't get this account, right? I think that was a very, very big advice because after that, the amount of time that I have spent on travel, not just within the country, across the world, I must have visited pretty much 200 to 300 fish markets across the world, different cities. And if wherever we are in Captain Fish, a significant amount of that focus and that understanding goes to that travel that I've made and that single advice that kind of reoriented the way I looked at going after a problem statement, right? That get to the actual place and see what's happening and then build your solution from there.
I think being a consultant and then an investor, I can so foresee this advice coming in my life and then probably talking about that as my turning point. But yeah. So now moving on to the turning point rapid fire. So the turning point book.
The first non-fiction book that I read was actually You Can Win by Shiv Khera. Again, for somebody for whom Sachin Tendulkar was the big role model to really self-discover and then say push myself. That a lot can be done. That book was quite instrumental the way I thought about, especially in my formative years. This is, I think, when I was maybe in my seventh or eighth standard that I read this book. Yeah.
The turning point person in your life.
A lot of them, but I would definitely, as in now, after 4 5 years of building up, right? If I have to really credit to something that has helped me stay wherever I am and still have that contribution going, is the value system. And to that, I think I would credit my upbringing and my parents. If you had asked me maybe 5 6 years ago, this may not have been the answer. But now I really know the value of a middle class upbringing and having those foundational value systems in place, right? That really helps in a lot of decisions because it gives you clarity. Right? To that extent, I think my parents, I would say, are important for people who have really contributed to who I am.
I think that value system was a very clear winner even when Matrix was investing, right? That
Yeah.
this person will be frugal no matter what. Uh, so the although you've raised like tons of money, right? But which was that one round which changed it all for Captain Fresh, or which was like your biggest achievement?
Yeah. So I think two separate questions I'll answer in as two separate parts, because the round that really changed for us was actually the Matrix round. That happened to be the first, so to say, generalist in the whole world taking a look at a sector like seafood seriously. So it is not just pivotal for the Indian ecosystem, even globally as well. No generalist investor had taken a view at taken a look at seafood. So that kind of opened up for further conversations where we had Axel, we had Tiger, we had Naspers coming on board. So quite clearly, that was a pivotal moment. Not because I'm doing this event with you folks, but yeah, truly pivotal moment. I think the biggest achievement as far as funding was concerned was definitely to put together these heavyweights on the cap table and be very clear about it. I think every round there was a very clear strategy to put a Axel into the mix, or Tiger into the mix, and Naspers into the mix, and clearly it was also planned and thought through that yes, if you see Indian startup ecosystem and if you see the large outcomes that are out there, in some form and shape, the overlap of these four investors, right, dictates that there is a very strong, rate of
And
success.
possibly it also blocks out like all the other companies to come up, right? The investors are
Yeah,
blocked.
absolutely. So that's again, that was the other way of thinking, that once you get these on, then
Nothing left
you are
for
basically
others.
playing for a monopoly here. Yeah.
What was the turning point habit in your life?
Oh yeah, turning point habit. I think I used to be a very strong analyst, and as an analyst, I started reading up these audit reports or annual reports, and that used to be my time pass activity. I know you're judging me for this, but yeah.
No, I'm
So
actually jealous now that I know what it has done to you.
so yeah, there must be like thousands and thousands of annual report that I used to read. I would love to go back to that habit if time permits, but yeah, that's something that I would highlight. Yeah.
So you continue to do so?
Not so much in the past. After that, I moved to initiating coverage reports. I graduated when I got the access to initiating coverage reports, but I think the last year or so, no, I haven't been really been able to stay in touch with that habit.
Any turning point in your fitness regime?
Oh yeah, one of my colleagues actually believed I am a 45-year-old and he shared that with me. So that's like 10 years off. So I had to do something about it. I think I would say
I'm
that's a
glad you didn't
turning.
start with guess what's my age. I could have landed wrong.
Yeah, then maybe still long way to go then.
I think that's what building a company does to you.
Yeah, so I've aged faster. So yeah, that was a turning point in my fitness regime.
So what did you do for that? Like, what has really helped you go through so much?
No, I think one is I protect my sleep. I get my 6-7 hours of sleep, and the last 2 or 3 quarters I've started to work out. So if I don't sweat in a day, I feel a little incomplete. So I think that's helping me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's
So
like after the last funding round, you were like, I need some
yeah, no, after this
pass.
event where this person told me I'm 45-year-old, while I'm the youngest in the team, right? Youngest
Yeah.
by far across the entire senior leadership team.
Yeah.
So I had to do something.
Yeah, of course, and it's working out well, by the way. I was just
Thank
joking.
you. I know you made up for it.
So, what was that moment on campus that turned it all for you?
Yeah, interesting. I was running for the president.
Undergrad, postgrad?
This is undergrad, and very very big role, because of almost what 4,000 students in Surathkal. So that used to be a big post, and I used to dream. As in, I worked for it for almost 2 years, and I lost. So that was a big moment, because after I lost, I couldn't stay in campus, and I trekked the entire year. So I must have explored Western Ghats, some parts of Himalayas. So that explorer in me, right? Explorer and adventurer in me, kind of was brought out in that 1 year because I lost the
So you
president
wanted to
election.
escape from the
Yeah,
campus.
escape from the campus, and I wanted to, be adventurous, and then I explored this entire. I think I must have done like 150 treks in a year of 365 days, and because I had planned to be the president, I had completed my coursework, so I had nothing to do in the last year, and I had got the job, right? So I think I still want to go back to that 1 year that I spent. I am somebody who loves nature, very simple that way. So yeah, that's a turning point as far as campus days are concerned.
That's a very interesting one. I'm just also like recapping and thinking of moments when I could have just like, run away and probably do
I
that.
took a loan, and then
Wow.
I was always on the trek. I think when I walked out of college, I had a 50,000 loan on my.
50,000
That's a
note.
big
That was
number. This is back in
interesting.
2008. Yeah.
So Uttam, I think family is always like the biggest pillar, right, in a founder's journey. So any ritual with your spouse that you would want to talk about?
I think one of the reasons also why I could do a solo journey is also because I am married to somebody I knew from my school.
So the
And
support was
so it's almost like we've grown up together, and expectations kind of. It's like last 3 years, 4 years. There is never a real discussion wherein the kind of bandwidth that this would take and what I had to do and what I had to give up otherwise, etc. There's no real explicit discussion. It's almost like she knew this guy is like wants to do something, and when he gets involved, he'll get involved, right? And we have done it like for last 15 years, right? So I think entrepreneurship without the support of spouse, family, can become extremely excruciating and painful. So yeah, while I did not plan that, it has worked out well.
wow. So Uttam, if you were to go back, right, and do this all again, all over again, so what is the one thing that you would make sure that you again do it the same way that you did it the first time? And what's the one thing that you'll change?
Hmm. Actually, yeah, from where I started, a lot of things have changed. Like we today are more international than national, right? We are 60% outside India. Still, I would start in India. Still, I would be on the B2B side. And I think still I would
Would
be
it be
on seafood.
fishes?
Yeah, still I would be in love with fishes because I see value in doing what I'm doing. Maybe I would have done this with a partner. At some points, I believe that this platform could have been better if there were more people along with the same kind of skin in the game. That maybe I would have changed. If
One
I
question I have there, and actually, like, I have also been curious, was it for the lack of trying, or like, uh, I mean, were you sure that you want to go solo when you did?
Actually, it was not a matter of choice. I think it is lack of try. At some point, I believed that. I'll tell you. I think there was a framework of thinking that I had that outsized returns in the world have been by solo founders, except for maybe Google, right? So I thought, it could be a repeat of that.
Which it still can be, just
It
by the
still
way.
could be, but I know just the quality of that journey, right, could have been a lot better. So one is outcome, but just enjoying that journey and making it
Only if we
happen.
knew his journey would
Yeah,
we have commented
absolutely.
the
Yeah,
better
then I
part.
could have said that okay, all solo founders who have
Yeah,
made it big, it's all $1 trillion outcomes.
yeah. No, that's very interesting, Uttam. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Thank you so much, Nisha.